Welcome to Peptides-explained-easy. Let's break it down.
NAD+ is one of those molecules that gets talked about like it is a magic anti-aging switch. People say it gives you energy. People say it repairs your cells. People say it can help with aging, brain function, metabolism, and longevity. But the real story is more interesting than the hype. NAD+ does not give you energy like caffeine. It does not repair your body like a mechanic walking around your cells with a toolbox. NAD+ is more like a helper molecule your cells need in order to make energy and run repair systems. And when NAD+ gets low, those systems can slow down. So in this video, we're going to explain what NAD+ actually is, why your cells need it, why it appears to decline with age, and what the human research actually supports. What NAD+ is. NAD+ stands for nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. That sounds complicated, but the idea is simple. NAD+ is a coenzyme. A coenzyme is a helper molecule. Plain English, it helps enzymes do their jobs. Enzymes are proteins that run chemical reactions in your body. So NAD+ is not a peptide. It is not a hormone. It is not a stimulant. It is a helper molecule found in every living cell. Your cells use NAD+ for two major jobs: energy production and cellular repair. That is why NAD+ shows up in so many longevity conversations. It sits right at the intersection between metabolism, mitochondria, DNA repair, inflammation, and aging biology. NAD+ and cellular energy. Let's start with energy. Your body turns food into ATP. ATP is the usable energy currency of the cell. Plain English, ATP is what your cells actually spend. When you eat carbohydrates, fats, or protein, your body breaks them down. Those nutrients eventually feed into energy pathways like glycolysis, the TCA cycle, and oxidative phosphorylation. You do not need to memorize those names. The important part is this: your cells have to move electrons to make ATP. Electrons are tiny charged particles. Moving electrons is how mitochondria create the conditions needed to make cellular energy, and NAD+ is one of the main electron carriers. Think of NAD+ like a shuttle bus. It picks up electrons from one reaction and delivers them to another. When NAD+ picks up electrons, it becomes NADH. Then NADH delivers those electrons into the mitochondrial energy system. That helps the cell produce ATP. So when people say NAD+ gives you energy, the cleaner version is NAD+ helps your mitochondria turn food into usable cellular energy. That is very different from caffeine. Caffeine pushes your nervous system. NAD+ supports the machinery that helps cells make energy in the first place. NAD+ and repair. Now let's talk about repair. NAD+ is not only used for energy metabolism, it is also consumed by repair and maintenance enzymes. Two important groups are sirtuins and PARPs. Sirtuins are proteins that help regulate stress resistance, mitochondrial function, inflammation, and gene expression. Plain English, sirtuins help cells respond to stress and maintain themselves. But sirtuins need NAD+ to work. Without enough NAD+, sirtuin activity can drop. Then you have PARP enzymes. PARP enzymes help repair damaged DNA. DNA damage happens constantly. Sunlight, oxidative stress, inflammation, toxins, normal metabolism, all of these can create DNA damage. PARP enzymes detect certain kinds of DNA damage and help coordinate the repair process. But PARP enzymes also use NAD+. So NAD+ is involved in a trade-off. Your cells need it to make energy. They also need it to run repair systems. If there's a lot of stress and damage, more NAD+ can get consumed. That is one reason NAD+ biology is so important. It's not just about feeling more energy. It's about whether the cell has enough resources to produce energy and maintain itself at the same time.
Why NAD+ declines with age? One of the biggest reasons NAD+ became famous is that NAD+ levels appear to decline with age. You will often hear people say NAD+ drops by about half from young adulthood to later adulthood. The exact amount depends on the tissue, the study, and the measurement method. But the broad pattern is clear. NAD+ availability tends to go down with aging. Why? There are a few reasons. First, the body may make less NAD+ efficiently. Second, cells may consume more NAD+, because aging tissues often carry more inflammation, oxidative stress, and DNA damage. Third, enzymes that break down NAD+ can become more active. One of the big ones is CD38. CD38 is an enzyme that consumes NAD+. Research suggests CD38 activity increases with age and may contribute to lower NAD+ levels. Plain English: as the body ages, NAD+ can get drained faster and replaced less efficiently. That creates a problem because the same molecule is needed for energy and repair. So the aging argument is not NAD+ is low, therefore take NAD+ and reverse aging. That is too simplistic. The better argument is NAD+ decline is one part of aging biology, and restoring NAD+ availability may support some cellular systems that become weaker with age. That is the more honest version. Precursors versus direct NAD+. Now this is where people get confused. There are different ways people try to raise NAD+. The first category is NAD+ precursors. Precursors are ingredients your body can use to make NAD+. The most talked about ones are NR and NMN. NR stands for nicotinamide riboside. NMN stands for nicotinamide mononucleotide. Plain English: NR and NMN are building blocks your cells can convert into NAD+. These have human clinical studies showing they can raise NAD+ related markers, especially in blood or certain tissues. But raising NAD+ markers is not the same thing as proving every anti-aging claim. That distinction matters. The second category is direct NAD+. This includes IV NAD+, and sometimes subcutaneous NAD+ injections. IV means it goes into a vein. Subcutaneous means it goes under the skin. Direct NAD+ sounds more straightforward, but the biology is not as simple as put NAD+ in the blood and it instantly enters every cell. NAD+ is a large charged molecule. Cells do not handle it exactly like a small supplement molecule. Direct NAD+ may be broken down into related metabolites, then recycled through NAD+ pathways. There was a human pilot study looking at a 6-hour IV NAD+ infusion and measuring NAD+ metabolites in plasma and urine. That study showed the body does respond metabolically to NAD+, but it was small and not designed to prove anti-aging benefits. So the practical takeaway is this: NR and NMN have more human supplement-style data. Direct NAD+ has growing clinical and wellness interest, but the evidence is still more limited and harder to interpret. What human research actually supports? Here is what we can say carefully. Human studies show that NAD+ precursors like NR and NMN can raise NAD+ related metabolites. A 2018 randomized trial found nicotinamide riboside was well tolerated and stimulated NAD+ metabolism in healthy middle-aged and older adults. A 2022 study in healthy older men found chronic NMN supplementation increased NAD+ metabolism. Other studies have looked at metabolic health, muscle biology, inflammatory markers, blood pressure, brain aging, Parkinson's disease, and mitochondrial disorders. Some signals are promising, some are mixed, some are too early. That is normal in aging research. The strongest claim is not NAD+ makes you younger. The stronger claim is NAD+ is essential for energy and repair. It tends to decline with age, and certain interventions can raise NAD+ related markers in humans. The next question is, does that translate into meaningful outcomes? More energy, better muscle function, better metabolic health, better brain function, slower biological aging? That is where the field is still working. There is enough evidence to take NAD+ biology seriously. There is not enough evidence to treat it like a guaranteed longevity shortcut.
Now, people often ask, if the evidence is still evolving, why do some people feel better on NAD+? There are a few possible explanations. First, some people may genuinely be responding to improved NAD+ availability or related metabolites. Second, some people may be correcting a bottleneck in energy metabolism. Third, IV treatments can create strong subjective effects because the experience itself is intense, medicalized, and immediate. Fourth, sleep, nutrition, exercise, stress, hydration, and expectation all affect how people feel. That does not mean the experience is fake. It means personal experience is not the same as controlled evidence. This is important for NAD+ because the claims online are all over the place. Some people say it changed their life. Some people feel nothing. Some people feel worse during IV infusions because rapid NAD+ infusions can be uncomfortable. That discomfort can include flushing, chest tightness, nausea, pressure, or a strange internal restless feeling. That is one reason infusion rate matters clinically. Again, this is not caffeine. This is cellular metabolism, and cellular metabolism is complicated. Safety and cancer question. Now let's cover safety. NAD+ is not automatically safe just because your body makes it. Your body also makes hormones, inflammatory chemicals, and growth signals. Biology is about context. The first safety issue is quality and route. IV or injectable NAD+ should only come from a legitimate medical source. Sterility matters. Contamination matters. Dose and infusion rate matter. The second issue is medical context. If someone has cancer, a history of cancer, active inflammation, autoimmune disease, or complex medication use, NAD+ boosting is not something to treat casually. Why? Because NAD+ supports cellular function. That is usually the reason people want it. But in theory, helping cells survive and repair could be complicated in diseases where unwanted cells are also trying to survive. This does not mean NAD+ causes cancer. That is not the claim. The honest claim is cancer biology is one of the areas where NAD+ manipulation needs caution and medical supervision. The third issue is expectations. If someone is exhausted because they sleep 4 hours, eat poorly, do not move, drink heavily, and live under constant stress, NAD+ is not the foundation. Sleep, protein, resistance training, sunlight, stress management, and metabolic health are the foundation. NAD+ is a layer on top of that, not a replacement for it. The honest takeaway. So here is the clean takeaway. NAD+ is one of the most important helper molecules in your body. Your cells need it to make energy. Your cells need it to run repair systems. It supports mitochondria. It fuels sirtuins. It is consumed by DNA repair enzymes, and it tends to decline with age. That makes NAD+ biology very important, but importance is not the same as proof of every claim. The human evidence supports NAD+ as a real biological target. It supports the idea that precursors like NR and NMN can raise NAD+ related markers. It supports the idea that direct NAD+ changes metabolism in humans. But it does not prove that NAD+ injections reverse aging, guarantee energy, or extend lifespan in healthy people. The best way to think about NAD+ is this. It is not the battery, it is not the charger. It is part of the electrical system your cells need to keep the battery working and the repair crew funded. And when that system gets depleted, your cells may struggle to produce energy and maintain themselves. That is why NAD+ matters, not because it is magic, because it sits at the center of energy and repair. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe for more videos.